In this age and time, you do not need to be an artist in order for you to be able to create a coloring book that you can publish on Amazon KDP. With the right tools, you can create something simple, beautiful, and ready to sell all from your device. And one of the kind of coloring books that are really doing well on Amazon right now are kids coloring books. This is because these are really great gifts for kids. Parents buy it for their kids, teachers buy it for their students, and it's really a great means of activities for kids. Now, AI is not a secret anymore when it comes to being able to make coloring books, but how you use it is what makes all the difference. So in this video, I would show you how to create a clean, simple kids coloring book, just like this, that actually stands out and is truly sellable on Amazon KDP. I'll walk you through everything from how you can generate your coloring pages with AI, making them bold with clean details, how to design the book interior, and finally getting it uploaded on Amazon. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to check similar books on Amazon KDP. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. All you need to do is leverage on what is already working. And one way we can do that is by going to Amazon.com, and you can simply search kids coloring book ages 4 to 8. There are different kinds of coloring books that appeal to different age ranges. So you want to search and narrow down to the age range that you're actually looking for. So if I narrow down to kids coloring book ages 4 to 8, I can go ahead and filter by bestsellers. And one important thing that you want to do is you want to look at what is really common amongst these coloring books. So I have selected a few, and one thing that I would say really stands out is animals. You can see this one includes animals, birds. If you look at this other one here, it's just animals for children. And this is a really great thing to leverage on, because a lot of people buy this coloring book for their children with the aim of not just activity, but also serves for learning purpose. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be going with an animal themed kind of kids coloring book. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to decide what is your book idea. Now, I'm going to go to ChatGPT that I would like to create an Amazon KDP kids coloring book. The aim is to go for something animal themed that can have a little write-up on the animal with a fun fact. Could you suggest coloring book title ideas? Now, I got this idea from this particular coloring book that is really doing well. So if you check right now, you can see that it has coloring images as well as the name, as well as the write-up and some fun fact. And if you go ahead and check the reviews to see what people are actually saying about this book, you can see that people are loving the fact that it has some educational aspect to it and not just for the activity purpose. If we should scroll to another review, you can see it has a little index of mini pictures turn throughout the book. It tells you about the animal you are coloring and a fun fact. And if we scroll down, you can see again, it talks about the animal. The right side is a page to color. Educational coloring book is beautiful. So back to ChatGPT, I'm telling ChatGPT, could you suggest coloring book title ideas? Because I've decided the book idea for my coloring book, which is animal themed with a little write-up and some fun facts. Now, ChatGPT has gone ahead to give me coloring book title ideas. Now, do note that if you're not comfortable with what ChatGPT gives you, you can tell ChatGPT to give you more until you find something. I really like this one, Wild Wonders. So I'm just going to go with Wild Wonders, and I'm telling ChatGPT I love the title Wild Wonders Coloring Book. I would like to create 25 coloring images, and I would like to use AI to generate them. Give me 25 animals and the prompt to input in AI to generate them. I expect that the animals after generation should be in their natural habitat, e.g. fish in water with seaweed around, penguin on ice, etc. I also want the images to be simple since the coloring book is for ages 4 to 8. And this brings me to another point that is super important to note when you are creating kids coloring book. You need to have an age range that you are aiming for. If you are aiming for everybody, you are aiming for nobody. So you can either go for maybe 3 to 5, 4 to 8, 5 to 10, whatever it is. And your coloring book should be designed towards that age range. Now, I'm telling ChatGPT, give me the animals, the prompts to generate them, a very short write-up on each animal, and a fun fact for each animal. Now, I'm telling it you may not use the animals in the example I give. I always say this, the more detailed your prompts are, the more refined the results are. Now, ChatGPT understood the assignment and went ahead to give us the animal names, the AI prompts, the short write-up, as well as a fun fact kids would love. Now you can see lion, elephant, giraffe, zebra, monkey, all the way to the 25th animal. So now that we have all our prompts ready, we have the animals, we have the write-up, the fun fact. The next thing we want to decide is our book specification, because the book specification is going to help us know the dimension with which we're going to use in creating our coloring book. So for our book specification, we're going to be using paperback because that's the most common. We're going to be using a dimension of 8.5 by 11 inches. And for our page count, remember that we are going for 25 coloring images. However, given that there will be a back for the write-up and the fun fact, as well as some creativity in the front page, we're going to be going with 54 pages. Now, do note that you can make yours as much as possible. This is solely for the purpose of this video. So now we've decided on our book specifications. The next thing that we would want to do is we want to start creating our coloring image with AI. Now, what you want to do is you're going to head over to this AI tool. I'm going to be leaving the link in the description. You want to click that link and it will take you to this AI tool here where you can actually create coloring pages. If we click on this hamburger icon over here, you're going to see that there are quite a number of features that this coloring tool has. But because we have prompts that we want to convert into a coloring page, what we are going to be using is the text to coloring page. This is where you can impute your prompt and it's going to convert it into a coloring page. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to be starting with the first one. Lion in an African savanna with tall grass and acacia trees. I can copy this over here. As much as ChatGPT has given you a prompt template, you may want to as well refine that prompt to give you the best quality images that you can get with AI. So I'm going to go to this AI tool. I'm going to paste what ChatGPT has given us. I'm not going to say a cute lion because since I'm trying to make it an educational book, I would like the lion to look exactly or more similar to how it should look in real life. So I'm saying lion in an African savanna, very bold outlines and clear details. I'm going to be also choosing from these three. You can see default, this is like a portrait rectangle size. Square is more like all corners being equal. Then there's the landscape. And remember that our dimension is like 8.5 by 11 inches, which best reflects this particular one here. Now, if you scroll down, you can see the difficulty level, and which is why I took out this prompt here for simple style for kids ages 4 to 8, because there is already an option where we can choose the difficulty level. Now, the difficulty level basically shows the extent of complexity that you want your coloring images to have. You can see for toddlers, which is like ages 3, very, very simple. There's that for children 5 to 10, a little of complexity inside, but still pretty much simple. Then teenagers and adults, complicated. So I'm going to be going for children because our coloring book is from 4 to 8, which, pretty much is close to this. Now I'm going to leave the dimension as default, and this AI tool allows you to be able to generate multiple batches at once. Now, because it is AI you are using, you may want to generate multiple batches so that you can have multiple options to pick from. I'm going to leave it at 2 batches. You can actually generate up to 4 though, but I'm going to leave it at 2 batches. I'm going to click private. I'm going to click high print quality, and I'm going to click remove watermark. Now I'm going to go ahead and generate. So this is the image that this AI tool gave us. You can see this is the first one here. This is the lion. And if we go again, this is another one here. This is the lion. So we can decide to pick whichever one we prefer. I kind of like this one, and I'm going to go ahead and download as a PNG. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to copy the next prompt. Elephant spraying water with his trunk near a river. I'm going to go back to our AI tool and I'm going to go paste it here. I don't need to say a river in Africa. Again, I'm leaving the very bold outlines with clear details. I'm going to go ahead, leave it at children, leave it at default. Since I already have a prompt template that's working well, I'm going to go and generate just one batch, and I'm going to go ahead and generate now. You can see what it gave us. This looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and click on download PNG. Again, I'm going to go ahead to the next one, giraffe eating leaves from a tall tree in the savannah. I'm going to go back to the AI tool and I'm going to go paste it. Again, I'm leaving the very bold outlines with clear details. I'm going to leave the difficulty level as children. I'm going to leave the dimension under default, and I can decide to still make the batch 2 just so that I have more options. And I'm going to go ahead and generate. So you can see the images that this AI tool gave us, which is pretty cute. This is the first one here. Again, this is the second one as well, which is cute. I'm going to go ahead and download this one. So I'm going to click on download PNG. Again, I'm going to go to the fourth one, zebra standing in a grassy savanna with trees. So I'm going to copy it, go back to the AI tool, and I'm going to go paste it. Now I'm going to go ahead, generate 2, and I'm going to click on generate now. So you can see this is what it gave us. This is one image here. And if we should scroll to the next one, this is another image here. However, I'm going to be going with this first one because the zebra really stands out in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. Now I'm going to go back again and do the fifth one, monkey hanging from a tree branch in a jungle. I'm going to go back again to this AI tool and I'm going to paste our prompt. Again, I'm leaving all other things the same and I'm going to go generate. So this is what this AI tool gave us. You can see one of it here. This is a monkey. And if we should go again, you can see another one. This is a monkey. I think I like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and download it. And this is how I'm going to keep doing for the rest of the prompts that ChatGPT has given us. I'm going to go off the camera and generate all of the coloring images following all these prompts, after which we're going to go into the next step. So I've finished creating the coloring image, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding them together in Canva. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Amazon KDP help topics. This is where we are going to determine the page size that we're going to use since we are using bleed. Now I'm going to go to set trim size, bleed, and margins. Remember that we're going to be using bleed for our book, and bleed is just simply a phenomenon where the image or illustration just move towards the end of the page, as you can see here. So I'm going to click this first one here. I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to go choose the dimension that we decided initially, which is 8.5 by 11 inches, as you can see here. So instead of 8.5 by 11 inches, this is what we're going to be working with because of bleed. Now I'm going to go to Canva. I'm going to click on the plus icon. I'm going to choose custom size. I will change the unit to inches, very important. I'm going to impute the width as well as the height, and I'm going to create new design. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go set up the margins. Again, I'm going back to Amazon KDP help topics. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and the margin is actually determined by page count. And if you recall, our page count is 54 pages, and that falls within this first row here. So our inside margin will be this 0.375 inches. And our outside margin as well will be 0.375 because we are using bleed. Now back to Canva, I'm going to go use this ruler here to fix up my margins. If you do not have this already shown, you can simply go ahead, click on File, click on Settings, and click Show Rulers and Guide. I'm going to be zooming that out and I'm just going to pull it all the way down until I get to 0.375. You may or may not be able to exactly get that particular margin, that's the 0.375, but it's usually advisable to use something very close to it, and it is better you use something above than something lesser. So I got 0.389 and I'm going to go to this other one here and try to see what I can get. I got 0.380, which is pretty much fair. Now I want to do for the other parts, and to make that easier, what I can do is I'm going to add a shape, which is like a square shape. I'm going to bring it over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fit it in this small box here. I'm going to zoom it out, and once you see the red line, you can tell that it is well fitted. Now I'm going to pull it all the way downwards. So I've pulled it all the way downwards, and I'm going to pull this upper ruler over here till it meets it as well. I'm going to pull this one over here till it meets it. And once that is said and done, I'm going to go ahead and delete the boxes because I no longer have need for them. Now this is just one page. Remember that we need 54 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it into 54 pages. I can use this duplicate page icon here, and I'm just going to keep duplicating it. To make things faster, I can go ahead and use the grid view. I'm going to copy this and I can then duplicate it. Gotten 54 pages now. Since we have 25 coloring images, I'm going to leave 4 pages, then I can come back and do some unique designs on it. Now, just a hint, you want your coloring image to be on the right side of the page, not the left side of the page. And we're going to go ahead and start with page 5. So now I'm going to go ahead and upload all of the images that I have already downloaded from our AI tool. And what I usually like to do is create a folder just so that I can have all of the coloring images in one place. So I've gone ahead to add all of the coloring images that I have created with AI, and I'm going to start with page 5. So I'm going to start with the bunny. I'm going to make sure that it is as bold as possible. However, I'm going to make sure it doesn't exceed this line over here. That's the line that we have created for the bleed. The next page is supposed to be for the write-up and the fun fact. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all add all of the coloring images first. Now I'm going to leave this page, go to the next one, and I'm going to add the next image. So this is looking good. I'm going to leave a blank page, go to the next one. I can add the seal over here. The seal is also looking good. Now I'm going to leave this page and I'm going to add the next one. I'm adding the hippo. This is looking good as well. You can see it fits the screen well. I'm going to skip this again, add the next one. I'm going to add the peacock. It also fits the screen. This is looking good. And this is how I'm going to continue adding all of the coloring images. So I'm going to go do that off the camera. And once I'm done, we're going to go into the next step. So I've added all of the coloring images to our Canva document. And you can see how cute they look. And all of these images, we were able to create them using AI by leveraging this unique AI tool. Now, this AI tool can help you create coloring pages, and not just can you actually turn your prompts to coloring pages, you can also check their free coloring pages where you can download for free and add to your design. There's also the photo coloring page. If you have a photo that you want to turn to coloring page and add to your design, this AI tool also helps with that. It also can generate coloring book from start to finish if you want to do a story coloring book. It can also help you generate name page, colorize your drawing, even batch mode. There is also the online coloring. So this AI tool is like an all-in-one package. However, in order to be able to leverage it properly, aside the free coloring pages, you need to be subscribed to the pricing plan. So there is the yearly plan, which is 30% off. So you have the discounts, the hobby, the professional business, and you can be able to create up to 5,000 coloring pages per month with this AI tool. And of course, there are different cadres, but do note that, of course, the higher the category, the more accessibility to the features that you get. There's also the monthly plan if you want to opt out for monthly. And even with the plans, they also offer credit top-up packs, which is also really good and a great idea, particularly when you have opted out for a particular plan and the credits that you have, you probably exhausted them by some means. You can actually decide to top up your credit. So there is the small credit pack, medium credit pack, large credit pack, and it never ever expires. So this is actually great and can give you as much accessibility to be able to leverage this tool to its fullest capability. Again, like I said, I have left the link in the description. I'll also drop it in the comment section and pin it. So you want to go there, click the link, and it will take you to this tool. So back to our Canva page. Now we want to start adding our write-up as well as the fun fact. We're going to go to the first one. So we have the rabbit here, and we're going to be adding it before the image. So remember, the one after the image is the back of the page. So we want to add the write-up before or in front of the coloring image. So the coloring image will be on the right, the write-up will be on the left. So I'm going to click on this here, click on the grid view. Remember, we still have some spaces up. We're still going to add some creative stuffs to it, but we want to do the write-up first. Now what I can do is I'm going to scroll to elements. I'm going to pick a square shape, and I'm going to make it white. I'm going to put an outline. I can make the outline just 1 or 2. Again, I can now decide to add some corners to the outline by clicking here, and I will just increase the corner rounding just like so. Go to the middle of the page, and I'm just going to make it big. And what I can do is I'm going to go to text. I'm going to click on subheading, and I'm going to type the name of the animal, which is rabbit. Now what I can do is I'm going to change the font. I'm using this for the font, Bosok. I'm going to change the color to white. Now I'm going to add effects, under which I'm going to choose outline and make the outline black. And I'm going to increase the thickness just like so. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another subheading here. This is where I'm going to impute the write-up. I'm going back to ChatGPT and I'm going to go look for rabbits. So for the rabbit, you can see it over here. And this is the write-up. Rabbits love to hop and nibble on fresh greens. I'm going to go back to Canva and I'm going to put that here. Now I'm going to also change the font just to make it much more kid-friendly. And I'm going to extend it just to give us enough space over here. Just like so. Again, I'm now going to put in the fun fact. I can copy this over here, bring it down again and say fun fact. I'm just going to make the size for the fun fact a little bit smaller, Then I'm going to go ahead. I can duplicate this because I'm also going to be using this font for it. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to copy the fun fact over here. Then I'm going to go to Canva and I'm going to impute it here. So fun fact, a rabbit's teeth never stop growing. For the fun fact, I'm thinking of changing the fonts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this font again. So I've centralized everything and it's looking good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the next image and do the same thing to make our work easier. I'm just going to go copy everything. So I'm going to go to the next one over here, and the animal we're working with is the crocodile. I'm going to go here and paste it. It's going to replicate the exact thing we have, even the exact place it was from the page we copied it. And now I'm going to be editing it. I'm going to put crocodile here. I'll go back to ChatGPT and copy the write-up for crocodile. And I'm going to go here and paste it. For the fun fact, I'm going to go and paste it here like so. I'm going to centralize them. And this is all good. Again, I'm going to copy this over here. I'm going to go to the next image we're working with. And in this case, it is the seal. And I'm going to paste it. So everything is replicated here. Now I'm going to edit it and say seal. I'll go back to ChatGPT, look for seal and copy the write-up for seal. Back to Canva, I'm going to go here and paste it. For the fun fact, again, I'm going to copy what ChatGPT has given us. And I'm going to go paste it in Canva. Now I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to go to the next one and I'm going to go paste it. The next image we're working with is the hippopotamus. I'm going to add that here. You can see it's already outside the box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce it in size just so that it fits. And this is all good. I'm going back to ChatGPT and I'm going to copy it. Hippos spend most of the time in the water to stay cool. And I'm going to paste it here. For the fun fact, I'm going to go to ChatGPT and copy what ChatGPT has given us. So now this is good and you can see just how we're going about it. Now this is what I'm going to do for all of the other coloring images. I'm going to be following this exact template, imputing the name, the write-up as well as the fun fact. So I'm going to go off the camera just to finish it up. And when I come back, we're going to go into the next step. If I should use the grid view over here, you can see all of it here. You can see how it looks. The reason why this part is empty is because this is the back page of this image. And you can see how cute this looks. Now, if we should scroll all the way to the top, you can see we still have these pages blank. And now we want to add something to these pages. We want to be creative. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fill it in with some number of animals. This actually varies. You can decide to do whatever you want to do. So I'm heading over to ChatGPT and I'm saying I want to create the beginning page of my coloring book and I'm trying to make it creative. I want it to have animals, 3 in each column and 4 in each row. Give me a prompt that I can use to create that. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to give me the prompt as well as the animals that are going to be inside. However, because ChatGPT repeated the same animals that were already in the coloring book and I wanted something new so that it doesn't seem way too repetitive, I tell ChatGPT that the animals should be different from that in the coloring book. And ChatGPT has gone to give us the animal list and the prompt we can use. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy it. I'm going to copy it up to this point here. I'm going to go to our AI tool. I'm going over to text to coloring page. And I'm going to go ahead and paste it. I'm going to leave the dimension on default and I'm going to click turn text to coloring pages. Now over here, I'm going to scroll all the way down, leave the difficulty level under children. I'm going to leave the dimension as default. I'm going to generate just one image as a batch. And I'm going to click on private, high print quality, as well as remove watermark. And I'm going to go ahead and generate. Now you can see the image that this particular AI tool gave us. And this looks really good, really unique, really pretty. And I'm just going to go ahead and download it. Now remember that we have 3 pages, so I want to do this kind of thing on 2 of the pages. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and tell it, thanks, now give me another set of animals. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit the animals here, since I already have the prompt that I'm working with, and I'm going to go paste it here. I'm going to leave all of the other settings the same, and I'm going to hit generate. You can see that it has some sort of black on it, and I don't want that, so I can decide to generate it again. So now I can download this one, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to our Canva design. So I'm adding it to the Canva design and making sure that it doesn't exceed the line, and this is looking good. Same way I'm going to do it for the other set of images that we downloaded. Now we've done 2 pages out of 3 on Canva. So the first page, I would like it to be the coloring version of the cover page. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to say 8 animals: lion, elephant, giraffe, panda, monkey, penguin, fox, and turtle, arranged neatly around the edges such that there is a space in the center. Very bold and clear details. Now I'm going to leave every other setting the same. I'm going to go ahead and generate. Now this is what this AI tool has given us, and if you look at it, the images are pretty much nice. However, this seems sort of off in terms of the leg. It's sort of like the legs here were replicated under the monkey. This is how it should look, so this image should not be here. Now you can either keep regenerating it till you find something good. Like I said, with AI, you may need to generate multiple just so that you have a better option to pick from. However, I'm going to use it like this and just go ahead and edit it in Canva. Reason because since I can do it in Canva, I don't want to waste so much of my credits. So I've gone into Canva and I've done the edit, and as you can see, I've taken out that one and moved this one over here. So you can see this one here for the next page, this one as well for the other page before we start the fun fact write-ups and the coloring images. Now, just in case you are curious on how I did it, what I did was I simply clicked on the image, I clicked on edit, and I clicked on magic grab. When I clicked on magic grab, I simply grabbed that odd looking monkey. It came off, I was able to delete it, and I clicked on the fox, I grabbed the fox and I was able to move it over here. Same with this one, I grabbed it and centralized it. So it's just pretty much simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to impute the title in the center. I'm going to go over to text. I'm going to click on heading and I'm going to say Wild Wonders. I can decide to bring it over here just so that I'll be able to make it bold. Again, I'm going to change the font. So this is pretty much good. And what I can do again is click subheading and just say Kids Coloring Book. Again, I'm going to go ahead, change the font to whatever I prefer. I think I like this. This looks cute. And if you look at it overall, you can see that we are really making progress in terms of our design. If you want it to be a bit more bolder, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. And this is where I'm going to put wild. So I can make this bolder, put it to the middle here, bring this one down a little bit. And you can see this is looking cute. So now that we've done this particular page, which is like the first page of the interior pages, and we have done every other part, you can see how it looks. Now, once we're done with the interior pages, just like so, next thing is we want to do the cover page. The first thing you want to do when you're trying to create your cover page is that you want to first of all head over to KDP cover calculator. Now for the binding type, remember that we decided on paperback. The interior is obviously black and white. The paper type is white paper. The reading direction is from left to right. The measurement unit is in inches. The interior trim size is 8.5 by 11 and our page count is 54 pages. Now you want to go ahead and click calculate dimension. Once you do that, it's going to give you the exact width and height that you should be using for your cover page. Again, what you want to do is you want to click download template, and I'm going to be showing you what we're going to be using that to do in a minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this width, and I'm going to go ahead to Canva, impute it there in order for us to get our page size for our cover page. I'm heading back to Canva and I'm going to click on the plus icon here. I'm going to click on custom size. I'm going to change the width to 17.372, just like KDP cover calculator has given. And the height is correct, the units is correct. And I'm going to click create a new design. Now, once you download that template from KDP cover calculator, it's going to typically come as a zip file. And what you want to do is you want to extract that zip file, because when it comes to the zip file, what we need is just the PNG file. That's the image file. So I'm going to just move it over to where I can access it easily. Now, our Canva page is created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upload our PNG file for our templates. Now we have our templates completely uploaded. I'm going to bring it over to our design and I'm going to expand it. It should be an exact fit because we use the exact design. The purpose of this particular template is just to help us gauge where we are putting whatever element or image or text that we're going to be using when we are designing our cover page. This is because when it comes to creating your designs, because it's going to go through the publishing process and the trimming process, this helps you to know where you should not extend your elements, or at least you should not extend important things in your cover page towards. For example, you see all these pink lines here. Anything that extends towards that risks being trimmed off during the publishing process. This is the middle line, which is the middle of the book, that will help show you how to centralize your elements when you are doing the front cover page and the back cover page. And any element that extends towards here would be under the bend of the book. So just for you to have an idea, it will also show you where the barcode should be, so that you don't put any important element or text there where the barcode will cover it. Now, what I'm going to do is, given that we are going to be using this particular one as our front cover, but we are going to be using the colored version, I'm going to go ahead and download this page. I had to take out the text because I do not want the text inside it when we're trying to color it. I'm going to only select page 1 and I'm clicking on done and I'm clicking download. I've returned the text back because obviously our text is supposed to be there, and I've gone ahead to download the image without the text. Now back to this AI tool. The good thing about this AI tool is that it has both colorized drawing, that it can automatically colorize the drawing, and it also has the online coloring where you can decide to color your images yourself. Now I have just one credit right now, so I'm going to try to use the colorized drawing. This is going to help colorize the drawing. You're going to give it a prompt and tell it how you want the images to be colorized. It also has the different styles. You can see here, there is the flat coloring, there is the crayon coloring, there is the watercolor, there's the impasto, there is the marker, and there is the colored pencil. So you want to click whichever you prefer, the color style you prefer. For me, I'm going to prefer marker, and I'm going to upload the image that we downloaded from Canva. So our image is here. What we are going to do is we're going to describe how we would like it to be colored. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me the colors of the images, just so that we have a much more specific prompt. So now I'm telling ChatGPT that for my coloring book cover, I used 8 animals in it, and I want to color the animals and the background cover with AI, and the animals are listed, the animals there, and I'm saying give me the color for each of the animals as well as a suitable background color for the cover page. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to give all of the colors, and which I just summarized them. Again, for the background, ChatGPT gave us background color ideas. You can see, so I'm using the color gradient as cream and I'm adding a little bit of peach. Now I'm going to click colorize now. The style, remember, it's marker. I've described in detail what we want. I'm generating one. I'm going to click private, remove watermark, and I'm going to click generate. And you can see what it gave us. This is really beautiful. Can you see how it got the details? Everything we gave it, from the lion to the elephant, the giraffe, the panda, the fox. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. Again, like I said, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description for this AI tool, so you can go ahead, click the link and go check it out. Amazing tool. So back to Canva now. I'm going to go ahead and add the cover page. So now I have added the image to the front cover page, and what I can do is I can reduce the transparency just so that I can see where it is in terms of the pink lines. You can see this one is almost cutting it, so I can just take it up a little bit, and this is all good. For the back page, I can bring in a square shape here, and I'm just going to pull it all the way to meet this one here. And what I can just do is I'm going to change the color and use a color from the front cover page. Under this photo colors, you are going to be able to see the colors from this front cover page, which you can decide to use. In this case, I'm going to be using this color over here. Also, I'm going to reduce the transparency so I can see what I'm doing. Now, typically when you're doing the back cover page, most people just impute some of the coloring images that is already in the interior pages of the coloring book, just so that people can have an idea on what to expect in the coloring book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I can pick some of these images over here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on about 2. So I'm going to download one of the write-up and another of the image. So I'm selecting the pages. I'll unselect all and I can just click on 6 and 7, which is that for the crocodile. And I'm going to go ahead and download them. Now that I've downloaded them, I'm going to go ahead and upload them. I'll add the first one here and I'll add the second one. I can highlight the 2 and reduce the size just so that we can have the equal sizes on both of them. And I'm just going to place them side by side. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the stroke width. So I'm going to make it like 3, and I can increase the corner rounding a little bit. To make that easy on the other side, I'm going to click copy style and I'm going to paste it over here. So this is pretty much good. And once all that is said and done, we can take this to the back. This is so that we can be able to delete the templates. Again, I'm going to restore the transparency back, and same with here too. And we have something looking really good. Now I'm going to go copy the write-up that we used earlier, Wild Wonders. So I can just highlight everything here. I'm going to take it back here and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to bring it to the middle over here. And what I can do is I'm going to change the color. So I can make the color pink over here, just like so. Again, what I can do is I can copy this, and this is where we are going to write our author name. So I can say by TFI Designs, just like so. Now we can decide to just add a little bit of touch up by adding things like leaves, and you can decide to add that with Canva, or you could decide to add it in the prompt. So I'm going to say leaves. I can use this one over here. I'm going to put it here just like so. I can reduce the transparency a little bit. And I can put it over here also, just like so. And this is looking good. Again, I can add individual leaves. So I'm going to take this over here. Now, many of these are Canva Pro. So if you're not using Canva Pro, you may want to look for freer options. I'm going to reduce the transparency. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread it around in multiple places just to give it a unique look. I can decide to add a little bit of sparkles. So I'm using this over here. I'm just going to add it. I'm trying to make it mild, not too much. I'll bring it to the middle and move it to the back, just like so. Again, I can copy it and put a little bit on the front area here. I'll duplicate it and extend over here as well. So this is looking good. You can decide to do more if you want. You need to apply a lot of effort in your interior pages, even more effort in your cover designs, because your cover designs is the first thing people will see when they are scrolling through Amazon. So you want to take your time in doing that. Once all that is said and done, I'm going to go ahead, click on share. I'm going to click on download. I'm going to change the file type to PDF print. I'm going to click CMYK. This is best for printing. However, it's a pro element. So you can also use the RGB if you're using the free Canva. There's no harm in that. So I'm going to click download and it's going to start downloading my cover. Again, I'm going to go back to my interior pages. I'm going to click on share, download. I'm going to use the same setting, PDF print, CMYK, and I'm going to download. Now, once all that is downloaded, the next thing you want to do is obviously upload your book on Amazon KDP. You want to click create a new title or series, after which you want to click create paperback. It will bring you to this point where you want to input your book title, your author name, contributors, description, publishing rights, the primary audience, the categories, and the keywords. Now, when it comes to the keywords, one best way to find out the best keywords that would help your book is by looking at what people are already actively searching for on Amazon. So when we go to amazon.com and you want to search for coloring books, since you are a beginner, you may want to really niche down and use more long tail keywords that have lesser competition. So if we search animal coloring books for kids, it still has quite a lot of results. But if we save cute animal 4 to 8 funny animals, and you can see it has about 9,000 results, which is pretty much okay. We're going to go ahead and impute this. So I'm adding this one as well because this one has 9,000 results. So I'm going back to KDP. I'm going to add it. So this I'm going to keep searching for really niched keywords. As you can see, wild animal coloring book for kids ages 4 to 8 has just 6,000 results, which is pretty much good. Again, we're going to keep looking. So once all that is said and done, you want to click save and continue. Now you'll be brought to this place where you want to fill in everything about your book and as well upload your book as well as your book cover. You also want to tick whether it's AI generated or not. And you want to go ahead and launch your preview out. Now, once you have approved your book, after you have previewed the launch, it will take you to this point where you would need to impute your pricing. And when you're imputing your pricing, it's super important to understand the current market price for the kind of book you are doing, particularly when you are a beginner. You don't want to price your book way too high above even established books, and you don't want to price your book way too low such that you have almost nothing in royalties. Instead, you want to compare prices with similar books that are of the same theme, of the same quality, of the same number of pages. This is the current minimum price with Amazon KDP that you can actually price your coloring book. So I'm just going to leave it at 6.99, and once you do that, your royalty is going to immediately show up, meaning that for every one book you sell, you're going to make $0.66. It's also going to populate for every other Amazon site. You can decide to edit each of them if you prefer, or you can decide to leave it like that. And you can go ahead and publish your book. Now, do know that it takes up to 72 hours for your book to be available for purchase on Amazon. Once you publish your book and your book has gone through Amazon KDP checking system, it's going to be published live on Amazon where people can actually buy the book. Now, creating your book is one thing. Actually optimizing your book for sale is another step. And one of the ways a lot of creators try to optimize their book to attract more sales is by getting reviews on their book. And one thing reviews does is that it helps to attract potential buyers. Now, the question is, how do you get these reviews? In the next tutorial that I'm going to be showing you right now, you will get to find out a unique platform where you can actually put your book up for other creators to look through your book and give a review. If you want to learn more on how you can do that, you want to click the video you see on your screen right now to get the full detail and tutorial on that. Ciao.